Hey guys, we're back. Real quick demonstration today. Hopefully you've got your cat from last time. If you don't have your cat from last time because you didn't make it, go ahead and watch the first video, get that part done, and then you should be about where we are with this project so that you can work on the second part with me today. So I've got my scissors from last time, I've got my Sharpie, I've got my glue stick, and then I've got my awesome cat, and we are ready to get started on the second part. Oh, also I've got my big pile of newspaper and stuff right here. So hopefully you guys have been able to find something like that. And if you don't have newspaper, it doesn't have to be newspaper for this. It could be if you have scrapbooking paper or construction paper. It could be a lot of different things. Just find whatever you kind of have available. But I figured most people probably had some newspaper laying around their house or magazines or something like that that you could use. So you could see that I made my eyes using the yellow newsprint from last time. I used just kind of the black and white. I try not to use any colors for the head and for the body. And then I kind of wanted the color to be in the form of the eyes and maybe the nose and ears and stuff like that. But again, if you have a different way of doing it, if you have different materials, you just do it your own way. I'm just kind of giving you some basic guidelines here. So I'm going to look through my newspaper. I'm going to try to find a color that I like, and I'm going to use that for the nose. And already I can see right here, just kind of sitting on top of this one in this little square, I kind of like this color blue, and I'm looking at that for my nose. So I'm just going to really quickly, I'm going to take my Sharpie, and I'm just going to draw a triangle, just a simple triangle shape. All right, so there is my triangle, and then I want to take my triangle, put a little bit of glue on that, and then I want to glue it down right here, someplace under where my eyes are. Now, I've seen this done. I looked this up online just to see kind of some other examples, and I've seen it done where like some people will take a line and kind of connect it to the corner of the eyeballs, which you can do if you'd like to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a straight line from the corner of my triangle to the corner of my eye, and then I'm going to do the same thing right there. It's a little bit off center, but that's just fine. Okay, and while I've got my Sharpie, another thing I can also do is I'm going to draw the shape of my cat's mouth, and it's going to be just kind of a just like a W, or like a number 3, or an upside down M, or a bird. I think I'm going to do some stripes, and I'm also going to make some triangles for inside the ear. So I wasn't planning on using green, but I found a ton of green. I found a Publix advertisement, and Publix, like their colors for their logo and everything are green. So I found all of these different versions of green. I found some yellow green and some darker green, so I found all these shades of green. First thing I did was to cut out a couple of triangles, and I was thinking about making these the kind of the inside part of the ears, and as you can see, like they don't quite fit just right. So what I could do is kind of work on maybe rotating these, trimming them up a little bit, and maybe seeing if I can get them to kind of work in there. Okay, I like that, so I'm going to take these, and once again, I'm going to add some glue. All right, next up is I'm thinking about putting some stripes maybe inside my cat along the side right here and along this side. And so I can continue to use some of that green paper if I want, or I could change up the color, but I've already cut out all this green paper, so I'm going to start to do that and get some stripes ready for gluing down as decoration for my cat. So as you could see, I cut out some kind of long, thin triangles, and I cut out about 6. So the idea is I'm going to do maybe 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, just to give my cat some stripes. So I got my green stripes on there, and you can see that they're not really popping a whole lot. You can see them, but they're not really that terribly noticeable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up on screen and show you guys the example that I looked at for this idea, and you can see that they went with black stripes, and they went with black triangles inside the ear. Okay, so we're getting kind of close to the end. I want to add a collar to my cat's neck right here. And for that, I'm going to look for a color, probably not green because I've already used quite a bit of green right here. Maybe I'm going to do something different, probably not yellow because my eyes are yellow. I could do blue, would kind of match my nose, or Maybe I could just kind of dig through here and see what I can find, see if something catches my eye. And I found this lovely bit of pink right here that's nice and blank and doesn't really have any kind of photo or anything overlapping with it. So I think that this is the color that I'm going to use for my cat's collar, because why not? So to help me out here, because if you notice down at the bottom underneath where the cat's head is, we have this kind of rounded area right here. So I thought, like, if we wanted to make the collar kind of fit nice and neat right there, we could maybe use that same circle. So if you guys used a circle, and I'm just going to grab an ink pen that I have right here. If you guys use a circle for your cat's head, maybe use that same circle if you're doing something like what I'm doing right here for the collar. So I'm going to trace part of this right here so I can get that shape. And then I'm just going to maybe kind of go down here and come back up to here, kind of like a crescent moon shape. So I've already cut out my collar right here, and I've gone ahead and placed it down, and I realized it looks like my cat has some kind of crazy pink soul patch. So it's sticking out maybe a little bit too far, which is what I thought was going to happen. So what I can do right here, and this is just kind of guessing, but I could just see where this line extends right here, and just kind of continue that on like that, and then I can hold this down, and I can do the same thing with this other side right here. And that kind of fits nice and neat. Looks a little bit less like a soul patch. Looks like I didn't quite get the dimensions just right, but it's close enough, and I think it looks pretty decent. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this. Looking good. So next up, this is just kind of an extra little detail. If you want like maybe some kind of little charm or some kind of tag that's hanging down, I just found this old Valentine's Day just laying right here on top, and I think that would be a perfect little kind of charm shape. All right, there we go. So if I wanted this to kind of stand out a little bit, to make it kind of pop a little bit, I could just take my Sharpie and kind of go around the edges right here, just trace around there, make it kind of stand out. You have to be careful when you're doing this though, because if your Sharpie touches the wet glue, you could potentially mess up your Sharpie. And finally, I grabbed a few pieces of just some scrap newspaper that didn't have anything printed on it, and I'm going to use this for my whiskers. So I just cut out some long and skinny rectangles. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. We will be back soon with new content. Don't forget to snap a pic and upload it into Canvas when you're finished with this assignment so that I can see your beautiful artwork. So guys, until next time, I love you, and I'll see you soon.